The screen.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna introduce the Mission Margiela of one of my favorite brand today. I will explore the brand in three parts: their brand, products, and future. Mission Margiela is originally named Mission Martin Margiela. It's a Paris-based on French luxury fashion brand. Mission Margiela by Belgian designers in 1988. Famous for the deconstruction of the unconventional material and avant-garde design, in addition to the concept of environmental protection, his design is even more surprisingly because the designer's endless imagination and hidden behind the work. And then there are two of the brand's most influential designers, Major Martin Margiela and John Giuliano. Founder Margiela is a wizard and the deconstruction. His sharp eyes can see through the structure of the clothes and the characteristic of clothes. Martin Margiela have always insisted on using old clothes hangers and old portrayal models to display his new designs. In 1898, he held his first fashion show in an abandoned playground in Paris, which influenced many famous designers such as Raf Simons. And this picture is the fashion show. The brand hired a new designer in 2015 is John Giuliano and changed his name to the Martin Margiela. Changed the name to Mission Margiela. His most influential work was the portrayal dress in the 2017 Haute Couture. Giuliano continued to explore the skeleton's forms of clothing, create the aesthetics of unconscious clothing, make clothing forms a special style throughout the series. And this picture is his 2017 the Haute Couture show. The most distinctive feature of Mission Margiela is its label. The label of clothing are only use white cloth pieces and the circle 0 to 27 of the number of cloth pieces to indicate their design series. Number 1 series is Woman Wear series. Mission Margiela expressed conceptualism and the love for avant-garde design in this series. Number 1 is the main line for women's clothing series. The predecessor of the series is the adoption of white labels. And number 22 is the shoe series. It's one of the most popular series. In addition to the brand classic tabby boots, there will be women's wear and men's wear designed without seam style. Also use structure, bold, and other distinct design style. And number 0 is Artisanal series, which appeared in 1989, is the most representative of brand deconstruction and experimental spirit. Design is different from the traditional tailoring, with deconstruction and exquisite handcraft art as the construction concept. Disassembled and reassembled clothes, fabrics, and accessories commonly used in handwork. Series 0 designs often have more elements in the storyline. The design sense is very strong and has become the core spirit series of Mission Margiela. Next, I will combine the social development trend and the customer's changing consumer psychology to focus the Mission Margiela from the products and customer and the market. According to the previous research on the trend of fashion in different age, I think the trend of fashion will become more and more diversified, and the people's acceptance of novel design will gradually increase. From the original modesty to the present pursuit of comfort and the nature and the personality, I think in the future the difference between men and women in clothing will gradually develop towards Women begin to try handsome and taut suits, and the men try to soft robes and boots. This is a great change compared to the past, and there will be more possibilities in the future. And the use of fabric will be more obvious to understand the change in clothing trends. We are not satisfied with the extinct fabric. With the development of science and technology and people's exploration psychology, more new fabrics will be developed and used. Designers are increasingly use the characteristic of new science and technological fabrics, using precision techniques to explore a new form of art for the creative clothing, such as the new discoloration fibers. The last one is, and with the development of society, people's consumption psychology has changed greatly. More and more customers begin to persuade self-fulfillment consumption through different collocation and strange individual products to reflect their own difference. And women consumers in particularly spend by browsing major fashion websites and following their famous stars and it girls. Online consumption has gradually become one of the most recognized ways of consumption. People can make convenient, comparative consumption on the website, which is more easier and more diverse than going out and shopping. So the rise and development of major brand websites and the shopping website are also promote this behavior. And although the online sales have the advantage of fast and convenience, but it brings consumers a sense of experience far less than physical store. So physical store is also very important. The studio and Hotrope for 2018 present a physical store for the Mission Margiela. A minimalist and abstract look for the brand's latest Paris flagship store. The store concept was developed by Studio and Hotrope, reflecting on the visual language John Giuliano by the creative director in building the house. Drop design was originally introduced from gypsum in textile templates with a conception of returning trace of the manufacturing process, create an abstract and abstractive environment. For interior, the facade design is explained Mission Margiela on conventional design criteria. It's helpful for customers to feel brand culture and strengthen their sense of consumption experience. Finally, I will predict the future customer demands from consumption, production, and the brand three directions. The arrival of all channel building online and offline connectively. Online should upgrade the customer's experience and the reality, and offline can be based on their own brand conceptions and the style of interior design and the installations display. Customers consider luxury purchases. Online and offline resource and the channel can be used at the same time. For the production, self-expression has become an important aspect of luxury consumptions. With the continuous progress of society, people's aesthetics and the pursuit are progressing by leaps and bounds. In the future luxury industry, more and more customers want to use luxury goods to express themselves. Luxury brands no longer provide a single selling function, but to inspire the customer to express themselves and become what they want to be. In order to reflect the sense of aesthetics as much as possible, many luxury brands also connect their products with the user's ways of life. And the brand attractive new customers. Luxury brand culture is a major focus. Luxury brand customers if only rely on the material desire to buy products. The potential is very limited. Therefore, the rise and the prosperity of used goods industries require brands to enrich their cultural and aesthetics connotations. Today, more and more brands are making efforts in these areas, such as Louis Vuitton printing the Leonardo da Vinci in printing on back products and launching a series of world-famous paintings, or Chanel making themselves into works of art and display themselves in museums. This trend is not competition for distinct brands, but more to provide diversity of the industry so that the customers can have more choices. And that's all my presentation.
Okay. Right. Thank you so much. So just for can you show again, please, your presentation, your screen?
Yeah.
So that we'll see together. Yeah. So what about the technological trends research? Did you do that?
I just researched the fabric and the design trend, and the techniques is including in the fabric.
So what kind of fabrics is it? Like, is it?
This new fabric there are three parts is by the light and the temperature and the wet degrees, so it can change the color and change different ways.
It's a good research, but just these fabrics, they already exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
but it's not common in use.
In some brands, I already see these fabrics in use. Like reflective fabric, it's used for like military or like police. Even they put it here. So the reflective fabric it exists. Thermosensitive fabric exists. Like it's not used that much common, but still it is not something which we will have in 30 years, right? So it's not fabrics. In 20 years, we will have so much different fabrics. So this was the main task, not to research something that exists now and will become more popular, but something that out of your, on the edge of your imagination, something very sharp, something very innovative, which doesn't exist yet. So some of the things you could just invent, and imagine it will be like this. This was the purpose, because like in 20 years, we don't have technologies right now which will we have in 20 years, you see? So this was the main point. And also what will be the new products of the future?
I think the new products in future is the design. The man and the woman's the difference between them will become more smaller.
Okay, so you think technology will not change the product at all, so it will be only about design?
No, the technology also will change.
Yeah, so so maybe you could research how it will change, because before, when we didn't have the smart watches, we were thinking, okay, We will have like just new design of the watch coming every time, and then we just need to change the battery or so we when we didn't know that the technology can be, can make the watch smart, we couldn't even think about it, right? But
Yeah.
when the technology appeared and we had so much options just in our watch, that was surprising for everybody, of course. So it might happen. It might happen the same way with fashion. Right now, we wear just fashion because of the design. Like we purchase something because it's stylish. But in the
Yeah.
future, maybe it will have much more options. The same thing, which happens like with watch, with I don't know, AirPods and things like this. So this was the main purpose, not to think only of the aesthetic design, how it will change, but also how it will improve and what qualities, what functions that will have in the future as well. And also what will be the future services. So you mentioned about the distribution that it will be online. I remember that slide.
Yeah.
So yeah, for distribution you said. I mean, it's not very innovative idea to sell online. We still have it. We still have it even right now. The brands sell online. So maybe also you
Yeah.
could search for something more innovative in that case.
Okay.
And for the services, what will be the future services of the?
The fu- the future service I think is more change in the physical store. The style of physical store will more present the brand's conceptions. And from now on, many shop is not it cannot present the brand conceptions.
Yeah, but again, you're talking about design. So design and service, it's not the same thing. Design is like, yeah, not every brand, every new brand can afford to pay a lot to interior designer, of course. If it's the jump, like if it's startup, of course, the money is a big deal to pay big money for design of interior, and most of the small brands they start by doing something somehow just to have the store. It's already expensive, uh, but I'm talking about the services of the future, let's say in 20 years. Right now the services in the store is that, okay, if it didn't fit you well and you didn't remove the tag of the label, then you can return it. Some of the brands offer services that, okay, if the clothes goes damaged, they will repair it for free. Some of the brands offer services that you can rent clothing, right? So this is services. But what will be services of the future in 20 years? This is what was the main question of the presentation, you see? So not something that related to the design side, but something what is related into behavior and business side, let's say. You see? but
Yeah,
but
I
uh,
see.
but overall, it's a very beautiful presentation. It's a good research about Martin Margiela. Um, the design part of your presentation is just beautiful. I mean, the way it's done, it's like very pleasant to the eye. Very nice colors, very nice composition, and it's very logical. It's very structural. So it's great. Just maybe you misunderstood the main concept, the main task
Yeah.
of the presentation. But anyway, like that's why I was keep asking you. Do you have questions? Do you have questions?
So
Yes.
I know that.
Yes, yes. So if you even have like a little hesitation, if you have a little question, it's better to ask. There is no such thing as stupid question. There is no such
Yeah.
thing. If you have little doubt, it's better to ask. Even if you're 100% sure, let's say 99% sure, but you have little hesitation, it's better to ask. Because there's
Yeah.
nothing bad about asking. Nobody will say, "Hey, why she asked? She's like she's not smart, oh my god, like she asked. No, you're students, you're here to learn. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer it. You see?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure next time you will do everything just right. So no worries. Thank you so much.